a beautiful cane.
If y'all don't be quiet during this trial, I'm gonna hit y'all with this cane.
Scary.
Yes, sir.
Ernie Costello. We're going to open up with the reading of the charges. So, if the state would like to go first.
Yes, Your Honor, give me 1 second.
Judge, can I request a mandatory 5-minute recess as we're gonna put this in the
That's.
record?
I was going to suggest we'll do a 10-minute recess so that the lead counsel can get sorted, and we'll pick up where we left off of the reading
I don't
of
see
the
why we have to
charges.
wait because they keep fucking doing nothing.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you. Never you been took care of, all good. They've been feeding you, giving you water. They've been taking
Yes,
care
sir.
Can
of you.
everybody in the gallery just remain in the lobby as well, please, for recess?
Have you
Like in here?
understood?
No, the main lobby, just outside the
Oh,
doors.
okay, just don't go outside.
Yeah, just don't go outside.
Okay, I got you.
Counsel as a higher up in attorney offices would be stick over. They're more substantially, I would say, inclined to understand the criminal side of this. Since it's a federal side of things, they come in and took over your case, and now
Yep.
I will be the
Doing okay?
counsel on your case, and there will be a primary counsel that will take
How are you
over,
feeling?
as in I'm just
good.
handling the
I'm glad to
handling
hear
your
it.
arraignment
You're doing
of the
great.
charges. At the time, it may look kind of
About time I
confusing
finally
what
got to
I'm
see my man in
doing, but
action.
I'm trying to stall as long as I can to get your primary counsel here, so you're actually conductively represented as such, when you're not going to be given some type of arraignment that is poorly subjective on my part.
No, fine.
Mr. Rhodes always puts you on the right roads, even if I can't join you on it.
Thank you, sir.
It's a pleasure. Whenever your new primary counsel comes in, at any time you are able to accept or deny any clause that she states, and then re-represent as me as your primary, or her
Oh,
as
what's up,
your
Judge?
co, or as self.
Hello.
You are able
How are
to
you doing
fire
today?
both of us at any time and represent
Just give
yourself.
me a few
However,
minutes, love.
at any time, do remember that any time you do represent yourself, you are not allotted or allowed to re-appeal for another court date. Those charges that you are stuck with, you are exactly that, stuck with.
If that guy with the blue hair comes back.
So,
You don't think I'm smart enough to go against myself?
yep, I would say hit this primary counsel, and she knows you a little bit more. That's why we reached out to her attorney offices and allowed her to come in. It just she came in from Liberty City, so she come in and took a long flight. Caribbean Islands are like 19-hour flight from almost
Goddamn.
Liberty City. Yeah, so it took her a little while to get here.
We've had a arraignment. Just so you know, the state is going to seek the death penalty in the capital murder charge and max times and fines on the robbery charges. And that's kind of where we're at right now.
Thank you.
Oh, and your client had previously pled guilty. I asked the judge, in the essence of justice, to deny that plea and enter a plea of not guilty, so you can have a chance to defend him.
Perfect.
Yeah, everyone be seated. Court is now back in session. Where was it we just left off before the recess? Sorry.
Your Honor, we just left off with the official arraignment. I think we're kind of finished with that. I think that the defense counsel is ready to just move into a trial. I think we'd set maybe that we were going to do a bond hearing, but if we're going to go right into trial, we don't need to do that, and we can just proceed on.
If defense is okay to go straight into trial, we'll just skip the bail and go straight to trial.
Perfect. I apologize for being late. I had some issues with my flight. My name is Valen Kinney, and I appear before you today as counsel for one Mr. Ernie Costello. I've been retained as an expert criminal attorney in this matter to address not only the charges brought against him, but the constitutional violations that I've witnessed through video recordings. At this point in time, I do respectfully ask the court to consider the following argument regarding coercion and infringement of his rights. Your Honor, I move this court to dismiss this case with prejudice because the state has so thoroughly corrupted these proceedings that no lawful prosecution can remain. This was not a procedural oversight by any means. This was not a minor misstep. This was deliberate, knowing violation of Mr. Costello's Sixth Amendment right to counsel. Mr. Costello did not turn himself in because he was guilty. He turned himself in because he, his family, and all known associates were continually targeted by law enforcement. This was not voluntary. Again, I would like to point out this is coercion. He made incriminating statements to law enforcement, not because he was guilty, but because he had no other choice. In consultation with his other counsel, Dusty Rose, law enforcement officers were present, recording privileged attorney-client communication. Was compromised. Confidential strategies were exposed. Statements are coerced and unreliable. Suppression and dismissal with prejudice are required in this situation. Your Honor, the state has no independent evidence tying Mr. Costello to any alleged crimes. No forensic work, no witness investigation. They did no work of their own to find evidence. Officers recorded privileged communication, surveyed strategy, and manufactured the conditions for all statements. That does not prove guilt, it proves violation. Suppression and dismissal are the only constitutional remedies right now.
Do we have? I'm assuming that you've got the proof that shows that his Sixth Amendment right was breached with the attorney-client privilege and all that, with officers being present.
I do. There is actually a video of his conversation with my co-counsel, and you can see two officers in the video, as well as obviously recording equipment.
Right. State anything to say?
Yeah, so the state intends to prove that Mr. Costello voluntarily approached the police, voluntarily gave up the information that's been alleged in this case. As far as coercion, I think it's kind of a stretch from what I've seen, but that she's more than capable of exploring that throughout the trial. I find the state finds it hard to say that somebody's coerced when they walk up to the police, especially somebody who's with Mr. Costello's stature. We've had the Costello family in court before. We all know how that went. The other thing is the state hasn't seen anything where the rights of the accused have been violated. So, with the Miranda rights and the right to the Fifth Amendment right, the right to counsel, all of this stuff, the right to counsel, the client clearly had counsel with them. I've seen the video, and the client's Fifth Amendment right to not be forced, coerced, threatened, all of these things into making uh, statements that are forgive me, I'm lost for words here. In the statements that can be used against him, Your Honor, that is a constitutional given right. The unfortunate thing here is the statement didn't, or the client didn't make any statements of the sort. He was talking with his attorney about plea bargains and deals and all of this stuff, but nothing he said was evidence of any of the crimes. I would ask the court to consider that when ruling on the motion or whatever you do here. And the defense is going to have to come with a little bit more than there were just some cops in a room while they were talking out a plea bargain. If the client was Mirandized correctly, the client did know his rights. He's of sound mind, and we just don't think that there's a Fifth Amendment violation here.
Your Honor, may I speak?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So my client, Mr. Costello, as I stated before, has only turned himself in and made a statement because I'm not sure if the court is well versed in the Costello family, but they have had constant harassment by the police.
Objection,
Um,
Your Honor. I'd ask that the court make her prove these statements rather than just stand here and say them.
Yeah.
Witnesses, evidence, things like that.
all right. And with that being said, Your Honor, I would like to know exactly what evidence the prosecution has against my client. Is there any forensic evidence, any other than him, feeling whatever way he did to make the decision to turn himself in? What evidence have their police officers done to tie my defendant exactly to all of these crimes?
Your Honor, the state plans on putting on several witnesses and introducing several videos.
Okay. Um, anything else to add before I make ruling?
No, I'm good.
Gunsmoke?
One moment, please. All right, Your Honor, I would like to ask that, considering the prosecution claims that they have several witnesses and evidence, we've seen nothing. So without that evidence being provided to both sides, I request yet again that this entire thing be dismissed on lack of evidence. Nothing has been presented to you, us, or any other means other than a very incriminating video showing yet again that my client was coerced. Of course, he is going to hold back from speaking directly to his attorney when he has two police officers in the room, which, by all their training and rights, they should know that is unacceptable. There should also be no recording material in that room, regardless of the classification of my client. It does not deem necessary to have police in the interrogation room with him. Again, I am motioning for dismissal, and I have absolutely no problem pursuing this as far as I need to. The harm is structural and irreversible. Suppression and dismissal with prejudice are the only legal and constitutionally appropriate remedies. Justice demands decisive action. Suppress statements, dismiss case, be done.
Your Honor, the state would, tend to agree with the defense in a few statements there about discovery, things like that. Uh, oh, this is a capital case. This is dealing with the death and the potential, life of another human being. The state's willing to waive any sort of discovery and allow the defense to call whatever witnesses that they feel fit without notifying us. The videos that are in question, I believe, are the ones that the defense is going to put on. So those have been provided just in the interest of justice and keeping the trial moving forward. If she's willing to agree to it, I'm willing to agree to it and let her put whoever she wants up there, and I'll just cross-examine them as I see fit.
Okay, my only concern that I have at this point in time is, was there in this said evidence video of Mr. Costello with his attorney, was there two officers present?
Well, I don't want to make statements when the evidence can, we need to put officers on the stand and show the video, and then the evidence would answer that question because, technically I'm not evidence. I'm just here arguing for the facts.
Okay, in
I
the
would be
course of
willing
justice,
to
go
show the
ahead.
video to the judge and let him make that decision for himself. Video does show two officers at attention on one end of the room, my client and his counsel on the other. There was also a video recording equipment at the same end with the police, and we can review that information with you at any given time, Your Honor.
The state has no objection to that.
Okay, if we'll do a little recess and we'll retire to my chambers so I can review that video. Okay, if councillors would like to meet me in my chambers, if everyone can remain where they're seated, we will not be that long. Just need to review this quickly. So after reviewing that video, I can clearly see that what has been stated is actually in fact true, and there was officers present during strategy talks with his client. I can clearly hear what they're talking about, the charges they're talking about, and what their plans to do, and there's recording equipment present during his attorney-client privilege. So at this time, I'm going to pass a motion for dismissal. His amendment right has been breached because there's two officers present during his meeting with his counselor that you can see clearly in that video that they are talking and strategizing, and the two officers are still stood there at each side of the room with that camera in the corner of that room.
Yeah, Your Honor, I mean, the Fifth Amendment applies to his rights to not give statements that would convict him, not, attorney-client privilege is a procedural issue, not a legal issue. And I would again renew my objection saying that the client did not make any inculpatory statements in those videos. Whether they discussed strategy or not in front of the police, the attorney is a certified, licensed, bar certified attorney. He should have done a little bit more to make those police leave or ask for something. I mean, the camera is very clear in the room. It's clear that there's a camera there. It's clear that there are police there, and the attorney made no effort to try to protect his own client's attorney-client privilege. And with this being a capital murder case, I just don't think
Objection,
that we should dismiss so
speculation.
quickly.
Objection, Your Honor. It is not
Speculation.
my
I as well made a handle before
Carry on.
going into the questioning. Oh, apologize. Objection, speculation on that, Your Honor. There's a beginning of said. I had a talking with said officers that was standing in, and they stood there and told me that there's all recordings within every single interview. Therefore, there was no time or place for me to anywhere have an interview on said property with him in a actual
Your
setting.
Honor, I'm going to object. This is hearsay. He's telling me what officers say. Give me the chance to put these officers on the stand, and they can say what it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we,
'cause it
we
got
can't speak on
toward each
behalf
other.
of another officer, counselor. Hang on 1 second.
I mean, if you want, I can put Mr. Rhodes on the stand and explore what he heard. If that's the case, I'm prepared to put the officers on the stand and explore how their interactions were. But I do renew my objection, saying that Mr. Rhodes is a bar certified attorney and he should have figured this out long before it got here.
Objection, argumentative.
also objection, Your
I'll
Honor. It
withdraw.
is not counsel's job to tell the police how to do theirs.
It is counsel's job, however, to protect their clients.
Objection, asked and answered, argumentative.
All right.
So this is where it is still a bit of a tough one because they are still discussing things that are, yes, they're pertain to what Mr. Costello is being accused of, shall we say. Um, but at the same time, my issue is he still is entitled to attorney-client privilege, which is the privacy to consult with counsel without anybody present. This is the issue that I'm having at this time.
Sure. I say you would let us put on a few witnesses to explore this a little bit, and then make your ruling afterwards, Your Honor.
Oh, but he's trying to cover his own ass.
Your Honor, I object. We
Could've
already
been
have
trained or
shown you
something.
very significant evidence that the police did not offer any, they didn't even ask if anyone would like them to leave. They just posted in position at the doorway with video recording software. And as I said, it is not co-counsel's job to tell them how to do theirs.
You see, I see where the state's coming from as well. It is, yes, it's not the council's job to tell the state how to do their job, but it is the council's job to protect his client. So,
Your Honor, and I'll say this: if this was, a simple snatch and grab at a gas station, okay. This is a capital murder case, Your Honor. People's lives were lost, and I think, in the interest of justice, we have to explore this.
for the sake of justice, because at the end of the day, there is multiple lives that have been lost in this. It's not just every life is precious in this world. It doesn't matter whether it's a homeless person or an officer. We are going to proceed with trial, see what the state's evidence has,
Oh, that's bullshit.
and the defense can come back with their arguments or witnesses. Like the state's already said that you can call any witness that you want. They're not going to refute that. If the evidence shows that Mr. Costello is innocent of all charges, then he's innocent of all charges, and we will proceed. But because the amount of loss of life that is involved in this case at this present time, we are going to proceed with trial. I'm not confident just dismissing it off the hand. Just there's too much at risk.
Got to with the way
And
that
I don't
interrogation
feel
went. You got to drop this whole
safe
case.
with proceeding
That's what I'm
with
saying.
dismissing it without exploring all the avenues. End of the day, like I said, if Mr. Costello is innocent, the
I'll
will
sue the city
show
for that.
he is innocent. There's nothing to hide, and then he'll be proved innocent in the court of justice, in the court of law. Sorry, and he has nothing to fear. He'll be let go at the end of it if the evidence shows that he, in fact, has nothing to do with any of the crimes that he's accused of. I understand where the defense is coming from, but at the same time, the amount of loss of life that is involved in this case, we cannot just pass it off and say, you know what, it wasn't him. We need to explore everything and proceed with the trial.
Okay,
That is my final ruling on it.
thank you. I'm going to go ahead and call my first witness. I'd like to call Commissioner Bills if he's here. Is he here?
I haven't seen him.
Okay.
Oh, there he is. Is that him?
I don't know if was he
No,
down in
and I gotta pee. I
cell
gotta pee.
or-
But
Oh,
this
okay.
also, you alright?
Thought he was hiding.
Okay, if he's not here, that's fine. I can call Captain Dylan Little.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Any objections?
That's not here.
No.
Okay.
Okay, I'm kind of lost on that part.
Okay, Mr. Little, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. You may proceed, Councillor.
Lytle, sorry. Can you state your name for the record?
SWAT Commander Dylan Lytle.
What's his name?
Okay, and who do you work for?
Oh, him. That's what I'm
State,
saying.
Senator State Police.
Senator State Police. And how long have you worked for them?
About going on almost 2 months.
Okay, so a decent amount of time for the city, right?
Yes.
And what's your rank?
SWAT Commander.
You're the SWAT commander. Do you have an official rank, or is it just command?
It's just Commander, pretty much.
Okay. In your role as a commander, do you supervise, train, things like that?
Yes.
Oh, I had previously asked you about questions. If you are involved in policy, do you write policy? Do you make policy for the commission or for the San Andreas State Police? Forgive me.
What kind of policies are we talking about here?
Sure. We'll go into specifics here. Specifically on how you make arrests. You write and do policies with that.
No, the commissioner and the colonel sit down to write stuff down like that.
Okay. Are you involved in the process at all?
No.
Okay. What about training?
I train the individuals who need to be trained, but as of right now, I don't train anybody just because there are FTOs around that train the said cadets.
Okay. What's an FTO just for the court?
It is a field training officer.
Field training officer. Okay. Are you certified as a field training officer?
I am.
Okay. In your training, and I'm assuming you've done training with the SASP as well.
Yes.
Okay. In your training, you guys train on the Miranda rights,
Yes.
and you guys train on the Fifth Amendment.
We train on everything that we need to be trained on.
Okay. Do you train on the Fifth Amendment,
Yes.
the Sixth Amendment, the Fourth Amendment?
Yes.
So it's safe to say that you are, for lack of better words, an expert in the law enforcement side of what those amendments mean to you as a law enforcement officer and what they mean to a potential defendant.
Yes, we understand the rights of every individual.
Okay. Is it your policy to violate those rights?
No.
Okay, good. I didn't think so, but I always have to ask that. During let's kind of move into Mr. Costello's case here. During this case, how did you come in contact with Mr. Costello, or did you?
Me and the commissioner were standing outside of VPD. Mr. Costello pulled up and he walked up to us and said that he is word he's coming to turn himself in for bank robberies and killing LEOs.
Okay, he just walked up and offered you that information.
Yes.
Okay. Had you had any previous contact, or was there any previous police contact with Mr. Costello that day? Do you know?
There was no previous contact with him that day.
Okay. So no previous contact with him that day. Mr. Costello just walks up and offers you this information.
Yes.
Okay. And what'd you do from there?
I arrested him. I brought him down to the cells. I read his Miranda rights as I was arresting him. Brought him down to the cells. Processed him. Took his mugshot. Took his fingerprint. And then after that, I put him in the cells for a second. And then I took him to the interrogation room to figure out everything that he told us was true. His rights were read while he was getting arrested. So I had the right to question him. He did not request a lawyer or anything during the talking or before the talking in the said interrogation room.
Okay. So read him his Miranda rights. Were you interrogating him at all?
No, all I did was just ask him questions because he walked up to us and told us that he killed LEOs and did bank robberies.
Okay. Is it your
So
understanding that under Miranda, there's two things that have to be present together, and that is custody, which at this point, Mr. Costello is clearly in custody, right? And interrogation, which means you're asking questions pertinent to a crime that he may or may not have committed. Is that how you understand it?
Yes.
Okay. Was Mr. Costello in custody?
He was.
Okay. Were you interrogating him about
I
these
did.
crimes? You did. Okay. What questions did you ask him?
I asked how many banks did he rob? He told me 7. And then after that, I asked him how many LEOs did he kill, and he told me about 10ish. And I asked if he knew the names, and he said he does not.
Okay.
Those were the only
And
three
where
questions
did
I asked him.
where did you ask him these questions?
The interrogation room 1.
Was his attorney present?
Nope, he did not ask for one.
Okay, so he didn't ask for an attorney, but we know that he had an attorney present. How did that happen?
What do you mean by he had an attorney present?
Well, we know from the video that the defense has provided that there was an attorney present. Mr. Rhodes was present in the room at some point. How did Mr. Rhodes A, find out about it, and B, make it to where you guys were?
So after the said interrogation that I had with him, when he did not request a lawyer, it was after the arrest, me putting him in cuffs. About 20 minutes later is when the lawyer arrived. He did not ask for a lawyer, nor did he tell me that he wanted one during this entire time.
Okay,
All I
but
know is the lawyer came up 20 minutes after that.
okay, but according to his Miranda rights, he's entitled to a lawyer. Is that correct?
Yes.
And when his lawyer made it, you guys, without question or any sort of attempt to stop it, you guys allowed him the opportunity to be represented, correct?
Representative by what matters?
You guys allowed the lawyer to talk to him, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The lawyer was able to talk to him.
Okay. And were there any police present in the room when the lawyer talked to him?
There was.
Okay. What about behind the two-way glass?
What was that? You kind of.
What about behind the two-way glass?
I do not know.
Okay. Was there a camera present in the room?
I believe there was.
Okay.
No confirmation, no denying.
What's your standards about cameras and recording inside your interrogation rooms?
They are always recording no matter what. Why are you enter an interrogation room, there's something recording both video and voice.
Okay. And is there a place that's not recorded in your police department that that the client could have used?
We have office areas upstairs.
Okay, but that wouldn't be really a safe place for a 10 times admitted murderer, would it?
No,
And why would that be? Why wouldn't it be safe to put them in an office?
because he came to us and said that he did said crimes, and it put us at a high risk area for him. So meaning he does not need to be in an area where it can be easily escaped from.
Easily escaped. Okay. Are there potential weapons maybe in offices?
Potentially.
Objection,
Not currently tonight.
relevancy.
Your Honor, I'm getting to a point here.
Okay, continue.
Okay. So potential for escape, potential weapons, and we have a 10 times admitted murderer. We wouldn't want to put him just in an office somewhere. We need to put him in your interrogation rooms, and your interrogation rooms are wired to record at all times, correct?
Yes.
Okay. 2 officers in the room are for the safety of all parties involved. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And with your, you hear all this, you get all of these things, you do this. What happens next in the investigative process? And if you're not an investigator, that's okay. I can put one up on the stand to talk about that.
And what terms are you talking about, like the investigating process?
How do you find out if these things actually happened?
To be honest, we have no confirmation on that these did happen.
Your Honor, I got no further questions.
Counsel,
defense-
any cross examination?
Yeah. Hi, Officer Lytle. So
I cannot hear you. Can you move a little closer, please?
yeah, I can.
approach a bit. Oh,
Sorry. I'm a quiet talker. So now, saying you're a training officer and you understand Miranda rights, you understand. Tell me what attorney-client privilege is.
What was that? You kind of broke out.
So, can you tell me what your understanding of attorney-client privilege is?
And what terms?
What does it mean?
Meaning they have.
Give me like a definition of what the statement attorney-client privilege means. Okay, would you like me to help you with that?
That anything they say is protected.
Okay. So more or less, yes. So attorney-client privilege basically says that my client has the right to speak to their attorney without any of you present. Attorney-client privilege means that whatever my client has said to his attorney is between those two. Officers are not to be involved. Cameras are not supposed to be involved. There should be no recording. At the point that my client had counsel present, your officers and any recording material should have been void from every situation. If you don't have somewhere sufficient to allow attorney-client
objection, Your Honor.
you need to make one.
Objection, Your Honor. It sounds like she's testifying. Are there questions here?
I was just gonna say, can you get to the point, Counselor? It sounds like you're on the stand.
Alright. Officer Lytle, is there or is there not somewhere that my client could have spoken to his attorney without someone else being present?
I mean, in an unsafe matter, yes.
Okay, and are you an authority at deciding what is safe versus not safe?
And what terms do you mean by that?
It's a pretty open-ended question. Yes, you are, or no, you are not.
What, saying what's unsafe and what's safe?
Correct.
I mean, I believe I am.
Okay, and do you all have methods to restrain my client? Handcuffs? Anything like that?
We do.
Do you have the ability to search an office?
We do.
Okay, so again, I'm going to ask you, do you have somewhere safe, barring that you could have searched said area, that you could have escorted my client and his attorney to, where it would have been just them?
We could have.
Okay, and do you have anything or any evidence that can show me that any of those offices are unsafe?
I do not at this time.
Okay, and is there anything that shows that anything has ever happened in those offices other than you telling me that they are unsafe?
Cannot confirm nor deny that.
Okay, and then on top of that, you said that my client came in and testified to, or excuse me, admitted to guilt for multiple different things, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and do you have any evidence or proof tying my client to any of those said actions?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Just a quick rebuttal question, Mr. Lytle. I understand that you don't make a habit of searching every single office for weapons every single day. Is that correct?
Yes.
And, have you ever had an instance where a handcuffed client has gotten a hold of something that might have been unsafe?
Yes.
Okay, so I got no further questions.
Okay, thank you, Officer Lytle. You may step down.
State would like to call Commissioner Kai Bills.
Is Mr. Bills present?
I'm sorry, Director Kai Bills of the FIB.
Mr. Bills, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. You may sit down.
And Director Bills, how are you today? I'll just have you speak up if you don't mind.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now. Mr. Bills, state your name.
My name is FIB Director Kai Bills.
Okay, Mr. Bills, how long have you been with the FIB?
Going on 3 months now.
Okay, what are your standard duties with the FIB?
Federal protection, federal jurisdictions, anything involving federal crimes.
Okay. Are you an investigative service?
I have a investigations unit.
Say that one more time.
Do have an investigations unit in the FIB, yes.
Okay, and you make the policy for the investigation?
Yes.
Okay. Does your office help the San Andreas State Police with investigation?
Depending on what requires the help.
Okay. Did your office help with this one?
This one, yes.
Okay. So tell me how you came in contact with Mr. Costello, Ernie.
So last night, or I think it was around last night, I was told over radio that Mr. Costello decided to turn himself in for charges of robbery and capital murder.
Okay. Robbery of what?
Bank robbery, 7 times.
And capital murder of who?
Major Ace Blunt.
Major Ace Blunt. Okay. Give me 1 second just to gather my thoughts here.
Good.
So he comes in and says he killed Ace Blunt, robbed a bunch of banks. What do you do from there? What's your procedure?
Well, first off, Mr. SWAT Commander Dylan Lytle, he was the one who read his rights, the procedures, and then came over to me, told me what he pleaded guilty to. After that, before his attorney showed up to the headquarters, he was placed inside of an interrogation room just to ask simple questions. And SWAT Commander Dylan Lytle was the one asking those questions while I observed.
Okay. And what did you observe?
I observed that Mr. Costello was not saying much information, which is completely in his right. But give me just a second. Well, so what I've observed recently, there was a phone call made to another officer of the SASB, Sergeant Austin Pecoro. From that interrogation room, it was he, and I quote, Mr. Costello said he either said it and he may not have said it from that phone call.
Objection, Your Honor.
Grounds?
Absolutely hearsay.
Not hearsay. I have complete footage of it from other officers.
Can you verify that that was my client's voice over the phone? You can identify people by voice.
Who may?
Your Honor, I'll ask the question in a little bit different manner. Mr. Dr. Bills, I understand that there may be some other evidence out there, but we got to kind of stick to what we have right now. So I'll try to ask some more targeted questions here. During your investigative process, and you stated that you witnessed the conversation with the lawyer there, the other two officers, Mr. Lytle. Did the accused say anything to you or to any other officer in the room about who he killed, or who or where he robbed, or when?
No.
Okay. During the course of a normal investigation, what do you generally do after these things happen?
Well, during a normal investigation, we run background checks, make sure we have all the guaranteed evidence in order for us to act accordingly.
Can you explain what act accordingly in the course of an investigation means?
Yeah, we do background checks, and for acting accordingly, we make sure we have all evidence, look at what this person has been charged with, what they own, if they are for committing a certain charge, most likely federal charge. We will do a thorough investigation through that, making sure they are the actual one committing that crime.
Okay. And this is something that well, I'll retract that. Okay, so you conduct a thorough investigation, you bring it all to the courts, and here we are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got no further questions.
Counselor, you're a witness.
I'm sorry, what did you say your name was?
Bills.
Okay. Officer, agent, not exactly sure the correct terminology.
Director of FiveM.
All right. Director Bills, I would like to know if you could tell me how you investigate a murder.
Can you explain a little bit more in depth?
Just give me your standard procedural protocol on how you investigate a murder.
Well, in order to investigate a murder, our standard protocol is first we go to the scene of the crime. If we can find any evidence, we tag it and tag it. But we will see if there was any witnesses in the area, question them if so. And after questioning, if there was any witnesses, we will head back to the agency, process the evidence, see who it comes back to, fingerprints, UV. If it comes back to a certain individual, we will then do a investigation on them, make sure they are the correct individual and our evidence was not wrong. And if it does deem correct, we will either pick them up or get in contact with a judge for a warrant.
Okay, and what is required for a murder?
For murder?
Yes.
You please provide me an example on how you mean?
Yeah, so what is required for you all to decide something was a murder?
So I'm gonna think back a bit on the murder or homicide of Michael Costello. He was found killed with a bullet to his head at the vineyard.
Okay. We're gonna retract that. I am not talking about that. I
I
am
understand.
talking about standard procedure. I don't
Yeah,
need
I'm using that as
examples
an
of who
example.
and what. No, we're not gonna do that here. It's just your standard procedure for identifying something as a murder. Please don't use examples, just actual fact.
Well, we gather all the evidence we can get, and again, if there was any witnesses in the area, look for witnesses. Any cameras around the area, look into those cameras, see if we can find anyone.
Okay, and what about a robbery?
Robbery. We will look into those bank cameras, talk to the bank tellers themselves, see if there was again any witnesses. There was a say there was a hostage for a bank robbery. We will find out information from that hostage.
All right, now let's go right back to the murder. So, yes or no, in order for something to be considered murder, a death has to occur, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and did you find a body
Yes.
in this particular incident right now? You found a body.
No, not in this particular incident.
Okay, did you look for one?
Yes.
Okay, but you found nothing.
No.
All right. Um, was there a weapon present?
No.
Okay, how about shell casings, fingerprints?
Yes.
Okay,
There was shell casings, but they were all duds.
okay.
That makes sense.
What other evidence do you have tying my client to any of these things that you're saying he admitted to or said he did?
Well, from what I was told, he confessed to the murder of Ace Blunt.
Okay, and is there any physical evidence to show that Mr. Costello committed a murder other than his statement that was given under duress?
Not at this time, no.
Okay, no further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Prosecution,
I've,
anything else?
I've got nothing for this client.
Thank you, Director Bills. You may step down.
Thank you.
Prosecution, have anybody else?
That's all the state witnesses.
All
Okay.
right, at this time, I'd like to call Jake Rebel to the stand.
Okay. Mr. Rebel, please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counselor?
Hi, Mr. Rebel. Can you please explain to the association with Mr. Costello?
Sorry, repeat that. I didn't hear you.
I said, can you please explain to the court your association or how you are tied to Mr. Costello?
Hey, yeah, we're just really close friends. You know, we became pretty close. I consider him like a brother.
Okay, and Mr. Rebel, is it true that you spend a good majority of your time with Mr. Costello?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it also true that you would say that yourself and Mr. Costello have quite a few run-ins with officers of the law? They pull you over, speak to you, anything of that nature?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and in your belief, do you feel that yourself, Mr. Costello, and I would say anyone in your direct company, has repeated issues with officers to the point where you would feel unsafe, that they had it out for you, so to speak?
There's been a couple times I've felt that way.
Okay. do you feel like it would be fair to say that I'm trying to think of the correct wording. Please bear with me real quick.
Good, take your time.
That you all feel a bit of pressure from them, that they are consistently in places of business that you
Yeah.
operate, or that you see them on a pretty continual basis.
Yes.
All right. I have no further questions at this time, Your Honor.
Thank you, Counselor. Prosecution, your witness.
What did you say your name was? Jake Rebel?
Yes, sir.
Jake, what do you do for a living?
I don't really do anything right now. I've
So you're jobless.
yeah.
You have a criminal record?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
There's relevant.
I'll allow it.
Do you have a criminal record?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's your record for? Have you ever committed robbery?
I don't know exactly what all my charges are.
You've been to jail for them, haven't you?
Yes.
So you just make a habit of going to jail and not knowing what it's for?
Objection, Your Honor.
Objection, speculation.
I'll retract that statement. You have no idea what you went to jail for?
No, I do know. I just don't know what exactly all my charges
Okay.
are at this time.
Have you
Like, I
ever been to jail for robbery?
Yes.
Have you ever been to jail for assault?
I don't think so.
Have you ever been to jail for obstruction of justice or fleeing and eluding?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you ever been to jail for resisting arrest?
I don't know on that one.
Okay. Have you ever been to jail for any sort of offense against a law enforcement officer?
What do you mean by that?
Have you ever fought with an officer, murdered an officer, anything of these natures? Do you have any of those charges? Attempted to murder an officer, shot at an officer, stabbed an officer?
Objection. And plead the that's in a statement of his Fifth Amendment rights.
The witness isn't the defendant.
Also, objection, Your Honor. This has nothing to do with Mr. Rebel's background or what he's been convicted or non-convicted of.
I was going to ask
I
that.
do have a point to prove here that Mr. Rebel is a menace to society and that the police, being around him all the time is his own doing.
Objection and proper character
That
evidence.
shit has nothing to do with this fucking case.
The defense is trying to put Mr. Rebel on to say that the police are harassing him and that he's scared when the police are around to try to
Objection, Your
forward
Honor.
this narrative.
I never insinuated that he was scared. Also, Mr. Rebel's background has nothing to do with the case at hand. Therefore, continuing to pursue into his background or his character makes no sense.
I will. Is there a point, Counselor?
Well, that was my point. If you're going to overrule that, then I've got no further question.
Yeah, I'm going to overrule that.
Okay, no further question.
The
Anything
defense
else?
would like to call Caesar Costello.
Thank you, Mr. Rebel. You may step down. Mr. Costello, if you please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Thank you. Your witness, Counselor.
All right, Mr. Costello, can you please tell me your relationship to the defendant?
Yes. That's my cousin.
All right. And with him being your cousin, how much time do you say you spend with him?
It's his uncle, man. He died.
Okay. All right. And would you say that he is an unruly menace? Would you say that he is mean in any form of that word?
an outstanding citizen.
Alrighty. And considering you spend quite a deal of time with him, I would also like to bring the same question I did to Mr. Rubble. Would you say that you oftentimes just happen to encounter police around areas that you all are located at?
Honestly, I haven't seen the police as much. They're never around me.
Okay. And would you say that Mr. Costello spends a good amount of time at his business?
Yes, he has multiple businesses.
Okay. And would you say that he is a upstanding family member, friend?
Yes, best friend, cousin.
Have you perfect. Have you ever seen Mr. Costello commit a crime?
No.
Alrighty, that is all I have to say to this particular witness. Or
Okay, prosecution, your witness.
Tell me your name again, sir.
Caesar Costello.
Caesar. What do you do for a living?
I'm an entrepreneur of sorts.
Entrepreneur. What do you sell?
Clothing, furs, minks, leather jackets.
Okay, so you sell furs. All right. And you said you know Mr. Costello how?
He's a cousin of the family.
He's a cousin.
Mikey died. Yes.
Oh, Mike Costello, Mike Costello, the murderer.
objection, Your Honor.
Mikey. We don't know
Yep.
him as a murderer.
Hang on. There was an objection.
Leading.
Grounds.
Damn, can a DA even say
I'm
something
allowed to
like
lead on
that?
cross.
Not supposed to, but he is.
This has no
That's
pertinence
wild.
to this trial. We're not here to discuss Michael Costello's crimes or who he was or what he did.
That's an instant drop on the case, discriminating him, calling him a murderer. Damn. Right on.
Mike was murdered. He wasn't a murderer.
That's right, two
Okay.
times in a row.
We'll move on from that. So you got Mike
Sorry,
Costello.
prosecution, one thing. If the gallery does not remain quiet, you will all be held in contempt of court. Last warning. Sorry, prosecutor, continue.
Yeah. If I said something along the lines of the Costello crime family, what would that mean to you?
We don't know what the Costello crime family is. We're calling
You
it the
don't.
Costello family.
You understand
Objection,
you're under
Your
oath
Honor.
too, right?
Is that an objection there, sorry?
Yeah, objection.
Grounds?
This is hearsay. I don't know what the Costello crime family is, nor do I believe that witness even knows what that means.
You know, everybody in the state knows what the Costello crime family is, but I'll retract and ask it a different way. Have you ever committed a crime?
Objection, Your Honor. His background bears no evidence
One to his background.
anything to this particular trial. Yet again, he is doing the same thing he did with Bull.
Yeah, Your Honor, we're trying to explore the possibility that the police are harassing the client, and I'm trying to establish the groundwork that the police had reason to contact the Costello, quote, family.
Actually, Your Honor, this particular gentleman has stated that he has not seen the police that often, so this cross-examination shouldn't even be happening.
I'm allowed to cross-examine anybody you put on.
Yeah.
I'll allow it because he is still related to the person.
So you stated previously that you committed a crime as a wee lad. Is that what you said?
Yes. Who hasn't done things that they shouldn't have when they were young?
Well, I've never committed a crime.
Well, I was born in America.
Okay. All right. Where were you born in?
Sicily.
Sicily. All right. So you're Italian. All right. And what about Mr. Ernie? Where was he born in?
It's my cousin. You have to ask him.
All right. Well, I can't do that. You don't know where your cousin was born at?
Oh, he's a cousin of the family. I don't know how many of my mother's fathers have had relations with each other. They're just cousins.
Okay. All right. What about Sam Costello? What about Michael Costello?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
I'll retract it. No further questions.
Okay. Counselor, anything else?
On that one.
No, I have no cross-examination at this time. Your Honor, the state has failed to meet its burden in this case. It's the prosecution's responsibility to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that my client committed both murder and robbery. Not my client's burden to prove his own innocence. Yet after a superficial and incomplete investigation, the police found absolutely no physical evidence linking my client to these serious crimes. My client was denied his fundamental rights to attorney-client privilege, and the only statement attributed to him was obtained under clear duress, rendering it unreliable and inadmissible. Without credible evidence and with an investigation that was anything but thorough, the state simply cannot prove its case. Therefore, the only just and lawful verdict is a full acquittal at this time.
Has the state got any irrefutable proof that Mr. Costello is in fact guilty of his accused crimes?
Your Honor, I'll make a closing statement here, and I'll let you decide that.
Mr. Costello, you may step down. Thank you.
I think that was the defense's closing statement, ma'am.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Your Honor, we're not, as a state, we're not required to prove 100% guilt, 100% certainty to limit or to eliminate every possible doubt. Only that to prove
What
that
the fuck
the
did I
defendant,
just
by
hear?
facts, by evidence, is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The evidence before you, including the statements from the police, including the statements that came out of the defendant's mouth that were offered by the defendant, show you, under Miranda, might I say, show you that this defendant has a propensity for violence. He admits to murdering. He admits to robbing. He frankly is just wasting this court's time being here. But the only verdict here, based on his own admissions and the police's investigation and all that stuff, is to find him guilty. Thank you.
Your Honor, Mr. Costello only turned himself in and made statements because he, his family, and known associates were continually targeted survival, not guilt. Statements were extracted under coercion, with attorney-client communications recorded. That proves misconduct, not guilt. The prosecution, as I said, has no independent evidence, and the police did not do their own work. The only thing you have here is, again, product of their misconduct.
As of yet, I have not seen any evidence apart from, yes, in that said video that we all watched of him saying that he done it, but I have not yet been seen or shown evidence of him actually committing said crimes. Okay. So at this time, because there's not been any evidence presented to show that the defendant, Ernie Costello, is guilty of robbery or murder, he is hereby acquitted of all charges and free to go. Case dismissed.
Hell yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Your
Your Honor.
Honor.